What's good? It's your boy Slim Trader back at it again with a weekend analysis. Today's January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year's to everybody. I hope this year brings great health and prosperity to every single one of you guys. But let's make this short, simple, quick. We're going to do a couple analysis, of course, on USD JPY. We're going to look at GBP USD. We're going to look at GBP JPY. We're going to look at GBP AUD. And if we have time, we'll add one more in there that I think will also be pretty good to look at. So let's get started with USD JPY. Last week we were talking. We ended price here in this green bar, and I had said on the previous episode, if price decides it wants to consolidate in between this green bar, we're going down to 140. And lo and behold, that's what it did starting on Monday or Sunday. It kept consolidating. It didn't pass the top of this green bar along with this trend line downtrend, and it just crashed down. That was maybe about 180 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, well, yeah, about 210 pips. I think I got about 180 pips. That's when I had got in. Right now, price didn't necessarily hit the yellow bar at around 140, but it looks like it dipped down to 140, 263-ish, and then came back up and rejected the bottom part of this trend line and a big bearish engulfing. And looks like we were heading down to 140. It flirted with it for a little bit, but it didn't quite get there this past week. So that's what I'm looking for. USD JPY getting to 140, 139, 580-ish, and we're going to see what it does from there. We have a lot going on. By the time we get there, we have this is a pretty good support right here, so we got to be careful and mindful of that. We saw price play with it here in the past, kind of consolidated inside of it, and kind of dipped down below, and it made this big impulse move to the upside. So definitely something to look at, be wary of. We could possibly see the trend breaking, this downtrend breaking. Last week I was conflicting on whether uptrend or downtrend. I wasn't too sure. I'm looking at the overall move as an uptrend. As long as we're above this green bar, we're in the uptrend. However, that's not to negate that this is a downtrend going on. It could be a counter trend, and that's why I keep calling it a counter trend. But just because it's an overall uptrend doesn't mean you can't be looking for sales, because that'd be ignorant if you weren't doing that. So I have been looking for sales all this time on this move. But I did add another line, because if price wants to break the yellow bar this week, our next zone we'd be looking at was the halfway mark of this red line and this yellow bar. So it came to about 136,540. So I would like to see, if price does break and it has a trouble getting buyers, we could start seeing price head to this purple line. So price is going to be playing between these two ranges this week. That's a 700 pip range as far as where we could see price fluctuate. The yen likes to move crazy. I'm not saying that it's going to be trading within this whole range this coming week, but um, this is where I'm seeing price playing in between. And we have the trend line, the downtrend. We have this yellow bar, and we have this purple line that we're looking at. So price definitely, I feel like 140. From there, we just have to see if it's going to make some type of bullish move or continue down. But either way, I will be having my eyes on USD JPY, and I'm just going to read and react. Right now, the moving average is still, the moving average is still red over the blue. So definitely we'll be looking for some more sales. Okay. So that's USD JPY in a nutshell. Next, we have GBP USD. GBP USD. I was doing a little analysis yesterday on it. Last week, we could see that price. Where did price end last week? Around here. That's right. I wasn't sure. I knew price was like in kind of like in a consolidation range. It was a wide consolidation, but I was overall bullish. I was trying to see if price could get back down to this blue bar, or at least to the bottom of the blue bar and push up. But the start of the week, it just decided to go ahead and push up and make a new high. So not only did we break last week, we had broke this high. Now, excuse me, the week before we had broke this high. Last week we broke this high. So now we can possibly be making another higher high. However, price did break this, make a new high, came down and has been rejecting this gray bar that I've had on there since last week. Now we're playing in between. Now we're kind of playing in between this blue and this gray. And I have the fib up because I'm looking at my levels to see where price could possibly bounce back up, because I am still bullish on GU, and we could possibly see price get to 129 over a period of time, this possibly this week or next week. But I do see price coming down some more, possibly playing in between this blue bar and this gray bar, or possibly dipping down even lower to still retest this trend line that I had going on, and then possibly shooting up and making a new high. So definitely bullish on GBP USD until it decides it wants to break this trend line going up and break below this blue bar. Definitely still bullish. We have this big impulse bullish move, and since then we had made a double bottom at the orange line support that I had made last week for you guys, and now we're pushing up, trying to make, and we're making new highs. So definitely like how GBP USD is looking. We're gonna wait for this bearish movement to end, and then be definitely looking at buys. Okay, so after that we have GBP, JPY, and this one was an easy one as well. Last week I was talking about how price was coming. It was pretty much riding this little counter trend, and I was specifically saying once price ideally wanted price to get to this orange bar, and it's going down, and that's pretty much what it did. It kept riding this counter trend until it got to the orange bar. We still had this downtrend going on, and lo and behold, we had this doji and then this bearish candle, and then we started hitting this trend line with the moving average crossover, and it was easy pickings. I did take it all pretty much down to the blue bar, even though last week I was saying 176 overall is the bearish move that's going to happen. But I do trade from zone to zone, so the blue bar was the next stop for GJ. And as you can see right now, we have price coming back up, retesting this gray bar that I had, and now we're pushing back down. We could possibly this blue bar is going to be it's going to be interesting because it's going to take a lot of momentum to break it. But once we do break it, definitely I see price getting down to 176. Overall, I do see GBP, JPY bearish. I know we are riding this uptrend, but I feel like we'll start retracing and get to this red bar or this trend line eventually, and then from there we'll see what GBP JPY wants to do. Um, I believe I'm probably going to do another video this week regarding it being the end of the year, a new candle for the new year, a new quarterly candle, and I wanted to dissect that. But real quick, looking at the end of the quarter on a 3-month candle for GBP JPY, um, basically we have this bearish. I know you can't really see it. Let's try to let's try to hide. I usually do my charts on my iPad, and so I don't remember. I can't think off the top of my head how to just quickly do it on here. But um, one second. Let's just hide all drawings. Okay. So we have this at the second quarter of the year. We had this big bullish Maribozu followed by a doji, then a bearish candle. For the last quarter, we can possibly see price going down some more. Look at the last 6 months, we stopped dead in its tracks. We had this big bullish momentum, and then it just came with the seller. So we could possibly see a retracement here for GJ. Let me turn back on the drawings to that trend line that we have or this red bar, and we can go from there and see what price wants to do. But overall, right now, bearish on GBP JPY, targeting 176. Or price could, depending on it, not if it can't break this blue bar, we can probably see some type of consolidation going on. I don't see price getting back above this orange bar and trading and making it a support. No time, not this week at least. Um, but if it does, we're heading bullish again. We'll just see. But I see GBP JPY going down some more. All right, so next we're gonna have, let me move that there. We have GBP AUD. GBP AUD, I didn't even really look at to trade because it pretty much just consolidated in this area, this green bar, this trend line. And I still expect price to kind of push up and at least retest this gray bar or this trend, this kind of like downtrend that I have going on, and then seeing what price wants to do from there. Because I kind of want to, I'm kind of anticipating price to get down to about the 183 area, well, to this gray bar, and then seeing what it wants to do from there. But right now, it's at a major, it's like stars aligning type of zone because we have the trend line. We're at the middle bar of the trend line. We are at the midline between this gray key level, the top and the bottom. So it's an interesting level to where I definitely can see price jump up. Some buyers come in and push it up, but from there, I'm just not sure what it wants to do. We did have this crazy consolidation, days and days of consolidation. We broke through the consolidation, and it's is it a fake out and it's just going to shoot back up, or if we just keep heading down because we broke the consolidation and the bears won? um, to be continued on that. So I'm just going to keep my eyes on GBP AUD because I feel like there's a big move coming, but I just don't know exactly. I'm expecting the big move to happen after we retest this either trend line or this gray bar. I do see it coming. I ideally want to see it hit this and then head down some more. So that's my sentiment on GBP AUD. And last but not least, I put in a new pair that I was looking at that I made a trade on last week, and that is Euro JPY. Euro JPY pretty much I didn't do an analysis last week on this one, but from the start of the week, we had price jump up and retest this gray bar, come down and make a double top. Once that double top was made with a bearish candle, oh, that was, I remember it was I was looking at the four, it was a doji and then this bearish, it made an evening star on this key level, which was also a double top. I just started and took the sell, even though I had this little mini counter trend. I just felt like the counter trend was going to get broken. So I was very aggressive in the trade and made some good pips on that. I do see price still going down. We're going to see possibly 154. And if price can break 154, definitely 150 being a major psychological level. I could see Euro JPY doing that, which is the midpoint between this blue bar and this orange bar. So definitely, well, a little bit below that. But I do, if price is going to break below this blue bar, it's going to see 150. That's like saying you go back to your hometown and you go see all your friends and grandma stays around the corner from wherever you're staying. Like, you got to go see grandma. You got to go see grandma. Like, come on. So if price was to break below this blue bar, it's got to go see grandma at 150. Very bearish on your Euro JPY. We can see this bearish flag going on. We had this impulse move to the downside, right? And then we had this trend line, and then we had this resistance. So we kind of had this bearish flag going on. And if you are into this type of structure, you know that price is pretty much going to be, the fall is going to be the same length as this pole. So we're kind of looking at about the 150, if not this orange bar. So that's what I'm looking at for Euro JPY. That would be a great sell. I don't see it going up. We may have problems passing this blue bar. We may not, but definitely bearish. I'm just going to be looking for sells from there. But yeah, that is all that I have for my analysis of this week. Markets will be open tomorrow or later on tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I may do like a midweek analysis and kind of go back in more in depth on each pair as far as my outlook for the year, because it's very important to look at that once a monthly candle closes or a quarterly candle closes, and most importantly, a yearly candle closes. You can kind of get an idea or a sentiment of how you feel like the market may go for that next year. And then just the best thing to do is just look for trades heading that direction, because when you look at price at a higher time frame, like, I think a lot of traders get messed up when they're on a lower time frame, let's say for example, a 15-minute, and they see a evening star pattern going on in the 15-minute, they automatically assume that price is going to go down, and you get faked out a lot on a lower time frame. But if you see it on a higher time frame like this one, this is a monthly candle. We just hit a major key level, and we hit a doji with a bearish candle. We got an evening star pattern going on here. Um, that that could be grounds for the end of this trend. We will see once we break this blue bar and this trend line. I can definitely see price even going down to 144. But seeing it on a monthly, it holds more weight. Like this, how many pips is this? This is about 600 pips worth of bearish momentum. 600 pips. Not to mention it being stopped on its tracks. The previous month we had about almost 300 pips worth of bearish momentum. So, and then, like, okay, we had this. I don't want to get too much into it because I really want to explain it in another video. But real quick, we just this doji right here, even though it ended bullish, I mean, like once it peaked up on this red bar, you just saw the bears kick in, and then the next month it was hardly much. Price starts right here. It barely had some buyers, and then from there it just crashed down, and then that's right here is when the buyers came in and pushed it up a little bit. So like I said, this blue area is going to be interesting, and we're going to see what it wants to do from there. But I am overall bearish on Euro JPY. I really do feel like we're going to break this trend line and this blue bar. But anyways, I have 25 seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys. Again, Happy New Year, happy trading, and I'll see you soon.